What's going on, everybody, and welcome to episode 5 of the Try Hard Entertainment Podcast, which I almost screwed up on saying.
Going live with episode 5.
Recording live.
Thanks for checking us out. Episode 1 has, well, before we started recording, we noticed it had 99 views. So if anybody could just go watch that again and then get us to 100, that'd be great.
That was on YouTube.
Yes. Yep. And then, was it? It was last weekend we did the pictures, or was that two? Was that no?
Yeah, it was last weekend.
Okay, yeah. So we're one step closer to being able to create pages specifically for this podcast, a YouTube page, Twitter page, like Instagram, whatever.
Yep.
We had to do a fun little photo shoot. We're legit.
How is that coming along with the banner?
I messaged him like when I came here and sat down earlier, and I wanted to just be sure. I told him, like, I'm not rushing you, because I'm not, Dion. I ain't rushing you.
No pressure.
But I just, I didn't know, like, if he was waiting on like payment or anything. Like, I just wanted to be clear on it, because I didn't know if he was gonna kind of give us some examples and then we choose something and then I pay him, or if I just pay him now. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me.
Kind of like it was with the logo.
Yeah.
While giving us different examples to pick from.
Yeah, I just don't know how he wants to go about doing it. But I sent him a message, and so just waiting to hear back from him. Because,
nice.
If it's Dion holding us up, that's fine. If it's me, it's unacceptable.
I'll say, yeah, last week we took the pictures, which I don't even know what he's got planned for the banner.
Yeah, we gave him like full artistic freedom, creative freedom. That's kind of his whole thing. That's what he does. So he basically has been like guiding us. Came in, took pictures. He had a whole light show.
Yeah. Those were some bright lights, like brighter than the ones I use for my green screen. That would blind me if I used those.
I wonder if he's going to use the picture where I tickled you.
I don't know.
But yeah, we don't know how he's going to set it up. We don't know what he's going to throw like in the background. So, yeah. We
used my green screen since he found out I had one. Instead of him setting up his, I just pulled mine across and used that one instead. But I was very bright with those lights.
Mm-hmm. And not a lot of space either. So the lights were like close to us. But it took me back to my modeling days. So that was fun. It was nice to remember a time where I was attractive. I've never modeled. Because I've never been attractive, John.
Oh, you can hand models and stuff too, so.
Dude, a hand model would be the worst thing for me. Have you seen these little sausage links? Look at this. Nobody wants to see a ring on that. That's why I'm not married.
Well, I mean, you're not married, but you're not available either, so.
I am available.
I don't think Christina would like that very much now, would she?
Me and Christina broke up, John.
Do what?
Yeah, me and Christina broke up.
I did not know that.
No. Should have discussed that pre-show.
Well, I didn't know that.
No, that's alright. Yeah, it's just a thing. It's just life.
Yeah.
You date. You don't date. then you record podcasts, and that's just what life is.
Yeah. What I was to say, what are you doing? Looking at the mic?
Yeah. But I am single. But I'm not ready to mingle.
At least you're not like. At least you're not doing like it was when or the unreleased stuff that we did when Joe was a part of it in his basement. But you kept constantly like readjusting the mic, and
yeah,
it was like right there in front of you, and you're just like kind of
wasn't good enough,
reaching under to get something to drink.
Knocking into it all the time. But now I'm prepared for contact. Doesn't work. Oh yeah, all right, it works a lot better than not having one.
Just like I wish he would release at least a one where he accidentally knocked down his mic into his own lap. And his face was like he was gonna die. He was like, ah.
There's like, I think there's 2 of them that I wanted to be released. Now they're almost irrelevant because we were talking about things that was like, we talked about E3, just stuff that happened like a while ago.
Yeah. Which the original plan with those was for them to be released shortly after E3 had happened and whatnot.
Yep. But we never released them.
Or he technically never released them, but
yeah, Joe. You bastard.
I think that had to do with the whole like fake ad read type idea and how that kind of went south.
But as soon as we come out with a Blu-ray box set, we're gonna have unreleased footage in the extras section. So it's gonna be good. Did we ever say what we're doing on this episode?
Not yet.
Not yet. All right. Do you want to tell them? Tell them, John. Tell them what we're gonna talk about.
You can tell them.
John Wick. We're gonna do a 3-part series thing or whatever. Then we're gonna talk about the John Wick movies. Each episode will be focused on like one movie. So the first episode would be the first movie, and it's pretty easy to follow that, right? So that's what we are going to do. Today is going to be the OG John Wick. Rest in peace, Daisy. And then next week, barring any scheduling stuff, it's a little harder for me to do this on weekends when I have my daughters, so it's every other weekend. But yeah, so hopefully we'll do John Wick next weekend. But whenever the next podcast will be, that'll be John Wick 2, and then 3 following the episode after that.
Well, I mean, if we're not able to do it next weekend, it's always a weekend after. Like, we did the pictures for Dion to start working on the banner last weekend, but then Sunday when we were supposed to do the podcast, I think you said like one of your daughters were sick, so you had attended that. So we ended up not streaming the podcast and filming it last weekend.
Leora would not poop. I felt bad for her. She wouldn't poop, and so yeah, stomach was hurting. She sat on my lap. My daughters are a year and a half, twins, obviously, and that's why they're both the same age. But but so she was like sitting on my lap, and I was just like rubbing her belly, and she literally like neither one of them. I mean, they'll sit on your lap, but they're energetic. Like they want to eventually get down, and it's normally not long, like not even like a minute, but they'll just be like, trying to scoot down, get back on the floor. Leora sat on my lap for like 2 hours, like would not move. She didn't sleep or anything. She just sat back like this. She was on my lap and then kind of against, like right here, and she was just sitting. I mean, just kind of watching, just observing. But yeah, she didn't feel good at all. So yeah. So then like there's that, and then I've also got to like find somebody to watch them, which can usually be my mom. But yeah, you know, it obviously just creates like a little bit of a hassle.
Does your dad ever watch them?
Yeah. My dad just stays so busy. Like my mom doesn't work any more than she has to. Which I mean, it's not a knock, but she just, yeah. But my dad is always doing something. He's either working at his job or he's at the house, like planting flowers or like tomatoes or cutting grass. I don't know. He's just always doing something. Always stays busy. He doesn't like to sit inside. So I take more after my mom. Because I am not the type that's going to just be yearning. Oh man, I can't wait for this work week to be over so I can cut everybody's yard. That's not me. That's my dad. That's not me. I'm more like my mom. Can't wait for this work week to be over so I can drink.
Well, I mean, the only difference with the whole cutting grass and stuff is you could earn extra money from doing it, but
you could, but he doesn't.
Then
he literally cuts all the fields back there.
Oh my god!
Like he'll cut all of it, maybe except like the Harris's yard. I don't know if he cuts that field, but yeah, he'll cut all that, and he just does it because he likes to do it. He's got a little like the AM FM headset thing. He's got a big yellow one, and he just sits. He's got like an antenna sticking off of it, and he just rides his little zero turn and just listens to the radio.
Those things,
which I'm pretty sure he listens to like political talk radio, which is even more weird. I mean, how could you do that and not listen to music?
Oh, I mean, when I do yard work, it's primarily music that I'm listening to in headphones, but
yeah,
either that or podcast. I mean, usually music though, because the sound of the equipment will kind of somewhat drown out the podcasts if you were listening to anything like that. And plus, music just kind of, you know, keeps you hyped up and gives you some adrenaline. I need to mow my grass again, but wish that first frost of the season would hit so it would stop growing.
Yeah, I don't have to cut much grass. The property owner. I have to cut a little bit, but they cut most of it, which is good because I have a pretty big yard.
Yeah.
So, works out. But yeah. Dive into fantasy football for a second. Last week. So I lost by like 7 or 8 or something like that. Because Drew Brees got -1. Because all he did was throw for like 30 some yards and an interception. So, and then he got hurt. He hurt his finger and he's got to get surgery. So he's going to be out for like 6 weeks or something.
So that's how you'll earn negative points, is if they throw interceptions?
Yeah, interceptions take away 2 points. It's like it's 1 point every 25 passing yards. He had like 37. So he had the 1 point for the yards, and then he had the interception, which took away 2 points, so it left it at -1. And he was out of the game. So that did not work out for me. That was a bummer. But that's what happens in fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
That's also why I play DraftKings.
Why is that? Does it
just
not
because
work differently?
like if DraftKings is like weekly fantasy. You choose a new lineup every week. You have like a salary cap. Each player costs a certain amount of money, and you've only got like 50,000 to spend. So you've got to fill out like 9 positions with like $50,000. So yeah, there's some money management, some strategy to it, but I do okay in DraftKings. Like I don't lose money, but I don't win like a lot of money. Last week, week 2 of the NFL season, I won like $47. Week 1, I won like 20 or something. So total, I've won like $67 in 2 weeks. So not like crazy money, but I mean, I started with 10, so it's a lot better than my cousin, who started with 10 and he's had to put $10 back in it like twice so he can keep playing because he just loses money. And I don't get it. I'm like, what are you doing? To me, it's so easy to just, I mean, it just even profit like a couple bucks. You spend like $3 to get into the league, and it's not hard to place to where you win like $5. I think that's like the lowest in like a $3 league, barring any ties. If you tie, then it splits the money up between the people. But anyway, so yeah, like it's not hard to get to place in it to win $5. So then you profited $2. But for some reason, he can't do it. He struggles. I do not understand how. To me, it's like the easiest, you know, also the smallest, but the easiest little come up. Just make $2. Meh, not a big deal. But I have like, I'll do like 20 entries a week. But I don't play in the big stuff because I'm too scared to lose money.
Well, I mean, winning something is better than losing, so
yeah. So like I'll play in like the dollar leagues and like the $3 leagues. You won't see me do like a $20 league or anything like that. I don't have the balls to do that, because if I was to lose $20, it'd be the end of the world. But I was thinking about it because I seem to do well. So I was like, man, if I do 20, like maybe I could end up winning like 40. But then I'm like, stop it, Nate. Because you know once you do 20, you're going to lose 20. That's going to be the week that I just choose like a bad lineup.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can set, this week I have 4 lineups. And you can do like as many, well, there might be a cap on it, I don't know. I've never done more than like 5. But, or no, 4. Yeah, 4 is the most I've done. But, yeah, so you have your lineups, and then you basically take those 4, or however many lineups, and you go looking through the leagues. And then once you find, I basically just look at like a $1 league that's got a really solid payout. So yeah, and then you click on that league, and then it'll pull your lineups up, and you select which lineup you want to put in that league. And some of them you can only do a single entry, so you have to choose just one lineup. But most of them you can put like all your lineups in. So that's what I do. I find a league, and then I just put all 4 lineups in it.
Yeah.
And so far, only one of my lineups I've done over the first 2 weeks of the season lost me money. And all the other ones I did won me money. But again, not a lot of money, but still money.
Yeah, money is money.
But that's, I mean, like if you keep playing and then you get familiar with it and you want to dabble in it, like, to me, it's just easy to just win a little bit of money. But I've got, like, my cousin, not the one that I'm talking about, his brother actually is the one I'm talking about now. He has won like $200 here, $500 here. So I mean, I haven't had that kind of success, but yeah. So you pay like $5 playing a league, and he's bringing home like $500.
That is crazy.
Yeah. But the top prizes for these things, like in the ones I play in, like a $3 league, is like 20 grand. So like at the end of the games on Sunday, I'm checking my DraftKings stuff, and every single one I'm in, like I win some money, but I'm like down the list.
Yeah.
And I just look at the profile, like it shows you the name and the little profile picture or whatever, and I just look at that person who just won $20,000, and I'm like, oh my god. Ugh. So I keep playing because I'm thinking, man, I just need to do that once.
Yeah.
Once.
That is insane.
But I told myself I'll put $10 in, and I will play. I'll keep playing until, well, like the only way I'll stop playing is if I lose, or if I get back to that $10. I don't want to lose any money.
Yeah.
So like I will bet, or I will gamble as much as like whatever it takes to get my account down to $10. And then if I lose like all of those, I'm just gonna take my $10 out and be done with it. That's kind of my mindset. I don't want to lose anything.
So how exactly would you lose money?
Just by putting a lineup in a league
And not winning,
and then
nothing?
you don't place. Yeah. But I mean, there's some that have like 300,000 people in it, or 300,000 entries. Not necessarily people, because you could have multiple entries. But
yeah.
but to win, to make a profit off that 300,000, you just got to place in the top like 50,000 or something, or like 40,000, something like that. And then you you basically like win your money back if you do that. And then just a little bit higher, you start, it's just different. It's like brackets. Like 10,000 to 15,000 wins this, and then it just kind of works like that.
That's crazy.
But first place will be like 20 grand. Second place will be like 10 grand. Third is like 5. And yeah.
Yeah.
And if you, I don't know what the tax law is in Virginia, like how much you have to win gambling to claim it.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to do it yourself on taxes. So like if you win 20 grand, they give you $20,000. Like it is $20,000. They don't take taxes out of it. Like that's your responsibility.
Yeah.
So if I was to ever do that, I've got about $12,000 or $13,000 in debt between like credit cards, student loans, whatever. So if I was to do that, I would just like pay off my debt, and then I would imagine the rest of it would probably be enough to cover taxes.
I mean, as long as you file it on your taxes, they can't get you for it. Because as long as you report it.
Yeah, but there's a certain amount
it might
that you don't have to report. Like if you win like $500, you don't have to report that.
Yeah.
But if you win like 10 grand, you have to report that. I don't know where the line's at. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. I just don't know where the line's at.
Yeah. But I mean, like, as long as you report it, I mean, you might have to pay something, depending on what it does. Well, I don't know. Because it'd be kind of like if you report, like, winning the lottery and something like that. I don't know if they would automatically put you in a higher tax bracket or being kind of like a one-time.
Yeah, that'd be a bummer.
20,000.
Yeah, so like you tax me more on my annual income because I won like a $20,000 payout in DraftKings. I don't think
it would do it like that.
Like you'd still come out on top, but ugh. I don't want that to happen. Just tax me for the 20 grand. Leave me alone.
Yeah, and so what do you use? Basically the app on your phone and follow it that way?
Yep.
I had considered that, but like this year was the first year that I've actually done any type of fantasy football. So, and then I made a mistake of drafting Antonio Brown, Mr. Drama Queen himself.
Yeah, he's his career might like legitimately be over.
He has become like infamously known. Now, he's done a good job of making himself famous more than what he already was, but he's done a damn good job of doing it, making it even more known, just because of everything that he's gotten in trouble for and done this season.
Yeah, it's been.
And now Patriots have dropped him when I had him on the roster to play this weekend, and then Friday, come to find out that the Patriots dropped him because of allegations against him. From one woman who accused him of like sexual misconduct, and then another one came forward and basically the same thing, and apparently he was sending nasty text messages to her.
Yeah, that's from what I read. That's the reason he got cut, because the incidents happened like a year or 2 years ago. So the Patriots were just gonna let the investigation do its thing and then go from there. But Wednesday, he sent text messages, and apparently they were like threatening
and involved her children too, and
and
pictures of her children.
And since that happened while he was a part of the Patriots cut him.
Which now he may not get anything from his like $9 million promise or whatever it was.
I read another thing. I do a lot of reading. That said his $9 million salary thing, like it had already been paid out, and he's already spent it. But then there's talks that New England's gonna look to recoup that since he only played one game, so like it makes sense.
They'll probably sue him for it.
Yeah. I don't know, was it 9 million or 5 million? I don't know exactly what all he got.
Apparently, they were trying to avoid the $9 million deal thing.
Yeah, like whatever they might have paid him like 5 million. I don't know, but I know his contract was like it could be up to like 15 million with incentives and stuff if he met everything. But yeah, they or like the money that they paid him. Sources close to AB said that money's already spent. It's like, Jesus, man, you just got it a week ago.
Right.
If even.
How do you spend $9 million that quickly?
I mean, if I got $9 million, I feel like I could spend it in 5 days. Because
if I wanted to be utterly,
I mean, like I wouldn't, but like I could because I've never lived that kind of. But like, I don't know. I feel like the dude lives that kind of life. Like, what else do you need?
I wouldn't live that kind of life. I mean,
like he's got like buku money, and it's still able, and so like he's got money and he's got things because he's so rich, and then you're still able to spend millions of dollars in like a 4 or 5 day stretch. Like, good God, it's a lot of blow.
It's insane, and it has screwed me once again in fantasy football league. Thanks a lot, AB. You're a champ. It's screwing people over. So now, my chances had went down, but I'm trying to win this league. I would love to be able to win, and
did you win last week?
Yep. I am currently.
I don't know if I talked to you about that.
I don't think you did, because I am 2-0. And I want to make it 3-0 this week.
I'm not 2-0 in any of my leagues. Drew Brees. No, I'm 1-1 in 2 leagues, and then 0-2 in my third league. Yeah, the 0-2 league. Like I didn't even. That's in my buddy's league, and when we were done with the draft, I was like, God, I do not like my team. I don't know. I didn't like my draft at all, and then it's showing because I'm winless. But I did make a trade. I got Austin Eckler on my team. I had to give up Devontae Adams to do it, but I had a pretty good stable of receivers. I just needed like another solid running back. So I was willing to give up who would have been my number 1 receiver by the end of the season, but at this point he was like my 4th or 5th highest scoring receiver.
Yeah.
Because he just hadn't hit the first 2 weeks the first week was bad. And his second week was good, it was decent. I think he had like 17 or something. But yeah. I gave him up and got Austin Eckler, who to this point is the number 1 scorer in fantasy through the first 2 weeks of the season. So I'm hoping that continues. And I have Melvin Gordon on my bench. So if Melvin Gordon ends his holdout and comes back, that's going to hurt Eckler. Maybe if they play Gordon. I don't know what the plan is because Eckler's doing so well. So I have both of them. So whatever the Chargers decide to do, let Eckler keep playing or give Gordon like the starting rollback. I got both of them, so I'm prepared. I'm ready.
And
I've also got Justin Jackson, who is like the third guy in case somebody gets hurt.
I just.
But I got to win. I can't go 0-3. So I had to make moves. I had to make something happen. And I feel good about it. I feel good about the trade.
Yeah. I just, oh no. I don't know what to do with Antonio Brown now. I benched him again since obviously what happened now.
I tried. So the guy I got Eckler from, I tried to get AB from him, and he wouldn't go for it. Well, I was trying to get Eckler and AB, and he wouldn't go for it. I was going to give him like Devontae Adams and like Aaron Jones, and then throw in like another receiver or something. I don't remember exactly what the trade was, but he turned it down. I bet now he wished he had accepted it.
Because I had almost considered cutting him after what he did at the Raiders, but then a couple of days later, I benched him, put another one in place of him, which obviously one is good. Held out, kept him benched, and then Patriots picked him up, and then this happened again. He won last week. He did pretty good. Because as soon as I found out he'd be playing last week with the Patriots, I switched it out, put him in. He did fairly decent, and then now this again. Now he's been dropped from the Patriots, so now he's with no team.
Yeah, and like given the fact or the way he's handled the whole situation, which is the reason he's a free agent now, the fact that he's got like 2 allegations or just multiple allegations against him.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's going to worry about picking him up because then you have to, because like he's being investigated.
Yeah.
So you're going to have that if you sign him. But then he just hasn't shown that he's like committed to football. He keeps screwing up. So I would say just drop him.
Which I don't understand. It's football and you're making millions of dollars. And you're going to be an idiot basically and screw it up. And possibly screw up your career.
Yeah, I mean, his career might be done, and that's the crazy thing. He's, I think I mentioned this on the last podcast. He was
one of the best wide receivers.
But it kind of depends on your preference. But he could be the best. Just depends on who you ask. But yeah, like he's one of the best route runners in the NFL. He catches everything. Like he just always gets open. And yeah, now his career might be over.
That's crazy.
And he's thrown away. I mean, the $30 million he had from Oakland, and then the 15 that it could have been from New England. The dude has pissed away $45 million, so he could make threats to a female.
But then you think about it, the allegations he's got against him for both women. You're obviously paying court costs and lawyer fees on top of it, so. Because you know eventually it's probably going to go to court, and if he's found guilty, obviously he'd be sentenced. I mean, it'd be a lot of money that he'd be spending very soon, depending on which route it goes with that whole situation. But there's not many other good wide receivers available to drop him for. But if I have to, I will, because him sitting on a bench with no team and no points is not going to help me at all.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to look at. I was wondering if anybody in any of my leagues has cut him.
Most likely, because I looked, well, I had a notification, and I went into the Fantasy League app, and it said, roster alert. Antonio Brown has been dropped by 25,279 teams in the Yahoo leagues.
Yeah, he was dropped.
So they were quick to drop him.
See if he was dropped in this one.
So
I don't see him in this one. So, and I got 3 leagues, and in one of them he's been dropped.
So what is it on what all leagues are you part of? One is obviously the oh god, I'm drawing a blank. Fantasy, the DraftKings is obviously one. What's the other ones that you're part of?
Well, DraftKings is like a separate thing. That's a different. And then I'm in three leagues. Like I am a commissioner. Like I have a league, and then a buddy of mine runs a league. I've been a part of that one for like several years. And then the third one, I wasn't like I was just gonna do the two. I was gonna do mine and my buddies, the two that I do like every year. But then my brother hit me up saying one of his friends was looking to fill out his league. So I was like, yeah, like I'll play in it. It was like a $10 buy-in. And then like immediately regretted it because he only has 8 people.
Yeah.
So everybody's loaded. So that league, I'm not paying too much attention to that. Like, I don't know. I'm checking the lineups, but I'm not really doing any kind of research on it. Like, I'm just making sure that whoever I'm starting is not hurt. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just looking at the matchups real quick, but I'm not reading into anything on that league. I just don't care about it.
But I mean, like, what platform are they on? Like the one that
they're all on ESPN.
All of them are ESPN based. Because I mean, like the one at work, they decided for whatever reason they used the Yahoo one. So
yeah, I got my buddy uses Yahoo, buddy of mine, but I don't know. I'm used to ESPN. That's the one that I've always used. So,
yeah,
I had a Yahoo league one year, like a handful of years ago. And I mean, like, just used ESPN. So I did it the 1 year, and then I didn't go back to it.
Yeah.
And then I like keeping them because I got the app, ESPN Fantasy. So I like keeping all my leagues on ESPN because I can just go to that app, and all 3 of my teams are just right there. I can just check them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my league is a $20 league. My buddy's league is $20, and then the guy, my brother's friend, is a $10 league.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, I just pissed away $10 because I'm not even paying attention to it. I did ream a guy last week. I beat him like 145 to 77.
Good God.
Yeah. But I've been like trying to do trades and stuff just to make it interesting. I'm throwing stuff out there, and like nobody wants to trade in that league, and that's frustrating. I like when like moves are made. Just makes it more interesting. But like nobody wants to do anything in that league.
Yeah. But I would love to be able to win the league that I'm a part of. Because it would like make a... They hadn't already said like... I had a good team. And I chose a good one who have never played fantasy football before.
Mm-hmm.
And... I think it would make a bold statement if I could actually win that league, being the first time playing it.
It happens. Like I'll see stuff often where it's like a dude's wife joined the league just so they could fill it out. They needed like one more person. A dude's wife joined it and she fucking won it, and stuff like that. Like it happens. Like stuff like that happens all the time. My uncle was telling me like several years ago, the first time he played. It was either him or somebody he knew. But anyway, it was the first time they played, and the guy, whether it was my uncle or anyway, he's a Dolphins fan.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know anything about fantasy, but he chose a bunch of Dolphins players. And kind of going through the season and understanding how it works and picking up free agents and dropping people, he ended up winning the league. And the buy-in on that league was like up there. I think him winning got him like $500. I think it was like a $50 buy-in or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But $500 for first place, like $200 for second place. Yeah, it was crazy. I don't know how big the league was, but yeah.
I mean,
like it happens.
Can you make it bigger than 10 people? in a league, or is that like at the
Yeah.
max?
No, you can do. I don't know how high you can go. I think 16 is the max, unless you do like your own. Like you don't run one through ESPN or Yahoo. You kind of keep up with the scores yourself.
Yeah.
Then you can just do as many as you want. But I really want to do like a dynasty league. That's where you have like you have your team, like you draft your team,
Yeah.
and then every season, like I don't know exactly how it works. I don't know if maybe there's a draft for picking up rookies or whatever. But you just go like you draft your team, I guess the first year, and then you keep that team year after year. You just kind of you make trades, you pick up new people, like that kind of thing, but you don't redraft. You don't go with a clean slate and redraft every year. So it's like running a football team, because you have the same players.
Kind of like you can do in like Madden 20.
Yeah,
Like when you start a fantasy, franchise. Yeah.
But it's like I really want to do that, but you got to have. It's vital to have the same people every year. So you got to have like 12 people commit to it every freaking season. And I can't, like in my league, I'm always having like to change one or two people every year because this person can't do it for whatever reason. Like maybe they can't make the draft because they're on vacation, so they don't want to participate in the league or whatever. And I mean, something.
I would do it. I mean, all that you can do is that draft day, and then after that, you just kind of maintain your.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna talk to my buddy, and I'm gonna see if he wants to, because I know I have some people in my league that would commit to it every year, like my cousins and my brother would do it, and he's also in my league too, so I know he would do it.
I'm not in your
there's a
league.
few people.
I was like, I'm not in your league, but I would do it every year. I mean,
it'd be fun. Like I'm gonna talk to him about it during the off season.
Because I mean, you show up
Try
for
to
the
set 'em
draft day, draft your team, and then after that, you just kind of switching out people as needed, like the bench them and put bench players in and rotate. You're just maintaining it after that. I mean, it's not like it's a dedicated thing that you have to do weekly.
And like I don't know, like I said, I don't know exactly how it works. Like when the rookies come in, like in real life, like how does that work for a dynasty league? Like, so that I don't know about. I have to do more research. But it's just something. It was something that I thought about, like right at the start of this season.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I think after this year, like this coming off season, I'm gonna get with him and talk about it and see if like we can have our two leagues, but then have a third league where we kind of join the people that are there every single year and do a dynasty league with it. So I think that'll be awesome.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I don't know what the outcome will be with Antonio Brown, but I wish I had gotten a better wide receiver besides him. Because he was like one of the better wide receivers that I had gotten on draft day.
He's a top 5 guy, like when he is on the field, and he's got his head screwed on right.
Yeah, he needs to correct. But yeah. But switching over to like video games, did you pre-order the new Call of Duty?
Yeah, I've been playing the beta.
I was gonna say, the beta is live, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you have to have pre-ordered it to play the beta.
Not now. Well, no, not anymore. Xbox. So last weekend, PS4. Last week's Thursday and Friday was the early access, and then it became open beta Saturday, Sunday, and then this weekend Thursday through or like Monday, I guess. And yeah, this weekend Thursday through Monday was open for PS4. But Xbox had the early access for 2 days, and then the last 2.5 days is going to be open. But yeah, and crossplay was opened up Thursday.
I was like, because this weekend, because I know this weekend was Xbox and PC's beta, where last week, obviously, PlayStation had it first, and then this weekend was the crossplay.
So like I'm not good at like online like competitive shooters or whatever.
Yeah.
I kind of prefer to stick to games like Destiny and The Division, stuff where you kind of work. I mean, there can be PvP or whatever, but you kind of work together with people, and that's kind of what I prefer to play. But last night I was playing, and I finally found like a nice class. I was able to tweak it. I got the M4 is like my primary. Then I've got the like the overkill perk where you carry two primaries, and the MP5 is my second primary. And oh my god, it was like it wasn't even me playing. Now I don't ever get like, just because of my playstyle, I don't ever have like crazy high kill counts, but I also don't die a lot. I'll kind of circle like the outside of the map type deal. Depending, I mean, if it's team deathmatch, yeah. But man, I had games last night. I was going like 15-2, like 13-6 or whatever. So decent.
Yeah.
I mean, they're good for me. It made me happy.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna be the guy that goes like 30 kills every game.
Yeah.
Like 30-10, 30-7. That's never gonna be me. So if I bust out a 15-2, man, I lose my freaking mind.
So, like, are they legitimate crossplay on every platform, or is it just like PC and Xbox?
You mean like, can PS4 play with Xbox?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was playing with Will, the guy that works on the trucks, young dude with the red hair.
Yeah.
I played with him. Thursday? Yeah, Thursday night.
What does he have? Xbox?
Yeah, he's got Xbox One. Yeah. Him and a buddy of his was playing with me and Mike. Me and Mike were on PS4. The two of them were on Xbox. Hello? You want to do your little thing? Yeah, this is my favorite.
It's separate from the podcast, but it's still being streamed and recorded live. But thank you to Black Welfare Rat for that follow. And I'm about to look at the wrong monitor for the camera. Thank you for that follow. I greatly appreciate it. Much obliged.
Love it.
But is that game supposed to be crossplay even when it's like fully released?
Yeah, but you can disable
the
crossplay stuff when you're looking for matches. So one thing last weekend, what just happened? Hey, killing it today, John.
Thank you to I mess can 9706. I hope I said that right. For that follow, and for that host, as well as Fan for Gamers earlier. I greatly appreciate it. Much obliged.
Hello. I'm just gonna call that person Messi because I like soccer.
Yeah. How are you doing today? But how does that work as far as the like your party chat and stuff? If it's cross play,
you have to add them as like an Activision friend, and then you can chat that way. But you can't. Well, no. In terms of party chat, I don't think we could figure out how to do it. We had to go into game chat to talk to each other. Yeah.
So you got to use the actual game chat.
Yeah. But yeah, so just adding them to play, you had to add them as an Activision friend instead of a online friend or whatever, because all those are for like the same system. Activision friend, you would do for. You can add a PS4 guy as an Activision friend if you're on a PS4. I don't know why you would, but
yeah,
you can. One thing I noticed though last weekend when it was just PS4, it was smooth. I mean, there were some bugs and glitches and whatever. Like the cruise missiles would just disappear. Like you'd get the kill streak, and then you would send out your cruise missile, and of course you control it, as it's coming down, and you have to hit like X when you're ready for it to kind of launch, because like you're kind of flying in the air, and then you hit X and it launches the missile, and then you guide the missile. So you would hit X, and then the missile would just like disappear. And it was like, okay. Thank God I got that kill streak.
Yeah.
So there was some little stuff like last weekend, and I didn't notice that playing it Thursday or Friday. So I feel like they cleaned that up. But yeah, last weekend, joining a match was really smooth. It was quick. This weekend, adding the crossplay, I don't know if their servers just got like abused.
It could be,
but it was hard. I mean, we would play a match and then literally have to wait like 10 minutes. We'd have to keep like exiting lobbies and going back in, and it was intense. I don't know if I should answer those.
But yeah,
I'll send them a text.
That's what I was interested in seeing with the crossplay, because it's not a lot of games who have done that besides obviously Fortnite and I know Destiny had opened up cross save, because like with PC, how they were going from the Blizzard platform to Steam, they're going to be moving, so they were introducing like cross save that you could sign up for, but not a whole lot of games have been doing the cross play. So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, it's not really my thing to do like online competitive shooters or whatever, but
I mean,
the only one I know of is just Fortnite.
Yeah. Which I got rid of my Epic Games account. I just never played Fortnite anymore. I tried it out, and then I got tired because I had the 2-factor authentication, and I traced the IP addresses anytime it would happen. I kept getting notifications for your 2-step authentication login, where people kept trying to get into my Epic Games account. So I would trace the IP address and find out like it was just sporadic, like all over the world that it was coming from. I'm just like, eventually I got to the point, it's like I never played a game. I don't ever use the account for Epic Games. I was like, screw it. So I like went ahead and just went ahead and canceled my account for Epic Games. That was weird.
Did you get Gears 5?
I have it. I don't have like a hard copy of it, but I have it on. I have it on digital though.
I want to play Gears 5, but I don't have an Xbox.
I do. I've got Gears 5.
But I was watching streams and it looks interesting. But like I
fun.
feel like I'm kind of lost on the story, because
I haven't gotten all the way through the story yet, but
like I never played 4, so I don't know what happens in that one. And I remember 1 and 2 pretty well. I played through those a lot. 3 I played through one time.
Yeah.
And I didn't really pay attention to the story as I was playing it. I was kind of getting out of that whole series at that point.
Yeah.
But 5, like I was never really interested in 4, but 5 got me interested again.
I mean, it don't really tell you much about the 4th one, but
yeah. But like
on the back of it,
like Marcus Phoenix, like he's in the 5th one, right?
Yeah.
But he's not in that one.
Well, he's in this one, just not as much to like the later half of the game. It has, because you're playing as JD, his son, so
yeah,
it focuses a lot around that, and he gets brought back into it towards the later half of the game, and he so far from where I've gotten through the story of the fifth one, he's been through the whole thing. But Marcus Phoenix has always been my favorite character.
Yeah. I liked Dom a lot too, but
yeah.
Poor Dom.
They were to make, which it had been rumored, but they were to make a live action movie. Obviously, well, I mean, they could get the actual guy who played Coltrane because he would fit very well, and he's done the original voice.
Big old black dude.
You ever seen Norbit? Eddie Murphy movie?
Oh no.
He was in that one too. But he's been in a lot of stuff, especially with Eddie Murphy. He's a lot like Terry Crews. And Terry Crews, if he was not able to do it, Terry Crews would be another perfect fit for Coltrane.
Yeah.
And then Dave Bautista actually wouldn't be a bad fit for Dom in a live action film. I actually saw him. He's actually supposed to be a character. Dave Bautista's supposed to be a playable character, I think, in multiplayer on the fifth one, which is crazy. But I'll say if you want to play the fifth one, it should have, yeah, like the fifth one should be no different. It'd have split screen co-op. So after the next podcast and the next stream, we could do some Gears 5. And that one's got it too. But they're still just as fun. My favorite gun still remains to be the Lancer. It's a chainsaw. Because that just never gets old.
Yeah.
And I still love it.
Always a nifty idea for a gun.
I always loved, like, when you get that perfect reload with Marcus, the way he'd be nice.
Has that mechanic always been a part?
I
know in the first 3 it was, but like
oh yeah, it's
like
still...
Gears 4 they got that active reload thing, and I know it's in Gears 5. What was the one that talked about Baird? What was that one called? Judgment Day or something?
Yeah, that was like his standalone game, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
But I mean, like that one, this one.
I keep yawning. Jesus.
When I got it, I mean, I had them on 360, but this one came like included for bonus stuff of the older Gears games. But yeah, it's still fun, and the reload mechanics still been the same, and I mean, it's just newer characters and stuff. And Baird is actually in the fifth one as well. He's obviously, all the originals are just a lot older now, but they're still the same. And did you ever play the Ghost Recon Wildlands?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Are you going to get, or did you pre-order Ghost Recon Breakpoint?
I've not pre-ordered it, and I am undecided if I'm gonna get it, because I'm getting Call of Duty. I'm gonna get Dying Light 2.
Dying Light 2's not till next year, though.
That's okay. I've only got so much money, John. Like, I literally have to plan these things out.
But I mean, Ghost Recon, like Wildlands and Breakpoint as well. It'd be like
also the fact that I don't, like, I'll stray off of a game, so I can't, like, that's why I don't buy like all kinds of games, because I'll buy a game and not even freaking play it. I'll get distracted doing something else. Spider-Man.
Yeah. Red Dead 2, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
But like Ghost Recon Wildlands and Breakpoint would be more like, because you said you like more of the Division, and what else did you say that you named off a little while ago? It was The Division and something else.
Destiny.
Yeah, Destiny. Well, that's first person though, so I don't really count. But as far as The Division goes, it's like that would be kind of closer along the lines of like Ghost Recon, Wildlands, and Breakpoint, because you're third person.
Yeah, and it's all Ubisoft.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I had fun messing around in the Wildlands or whatever.
Because I want to get Breakpoint. The open beta for that is actually September 26th through 29th, and it comes out October 4th. Yeah. Because in the new Call of Duty doesn't come out till later in October. Isn't it like 20 something, I believe?
I wasn't listening.
I figured. No, I said like Ghost Recon Breakpoint comes out. The open beta is 26th through 29th, and the game comes out October 4th. Whereas I think the new Call of Duty is mid-October when it comes out.
October 25th.
Yeah. Like both of them they both released in October. It's just Breakpoint comes out the 4th. I'm just more curious about the storyline of the new Modern Warfare game. Doesn't it also have like Captain Price in it again?
Yeah, I think he's like on the. He's like at the main menu, I think.
Because I've yet to even play
the beta.
I've yet to play the beta, but I want to. I might have to download it and play it at some point this weekend.
Dang, I lost a train of thought.
Because the Ghost Recon games have had like The Division. It's just open world, like Wildlands. And Breakpoint's supposed to be the same. Kind of like The Division, where it's open world and you can just free roam and do your missions. I know you always said you were bigger into the third person type of shooters.
Well, I don't know if I have a preference between third or first, but I mean, I just, I like shooters.
Yeah.
With Black Ops 4 not having any kind of campaign, that's one thing that I'm really looking forward to with Modern Warfare. Because again, that's what I prefer to do. I like to play like with people and not like against people because I don't like to lose. And I'm just not good enough at shooters. But anyway. So they're also supposed to do, like Modern Warfare 2 had the Spec Ops missions.
Yeah.
So they're doing that, but I don't think they're calling it Spec Ops. But it's the same concept. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to running through the campaign, with some buddies. So John, if you want in,
on not Black Ops, Modern Warfare.
Yeah. I don't know how they're gonna do it though. Like I don't know if you can you only crossplay online, or could you also crossplay going through the campaign?
I don't know. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, so I don't know.
And I don't see any way that they take out playing cooperatively in the campaign. If they do, I would be furious.
Yeah.
But every Call of Duty that's had a story mode, you've been able to do that.
And do local co-op and split screen too.
Yeah. I cannot stop yawning.
Lack of sleep.
I haven't been active at all today. I think that's the issue.
Probably. And yeah, because I know Nick at work had pre-ordered it as well, but obviously he's on Xbox.
Doesn't matter. You can still play. My phone is always dying. So where are we at? What time is it?
And quick news before moving to John Wick. Have you heard the update about the Spider-Man Sony and Marvel and Disney and all that.
No.
How you've got, I guess, Netflix, Amazon, and Apple that are in interest to try to buy Sony, which would mean if Sony gets bought out, that means Spider-Man and Venom and Carnage and all that will go back to Marvel and Disney free of cost. They will just get it back for free. And Spider-Man will, there in turn, be back in the MCU. And won't cost them anything. If Sony gets bought out, they could get it back for free, because I know the other ways they're not gonna let happen with them being more than 2 years in between the Spider-Man movies, and I forgot what the other thing was. But I know they're not gonna allow the other stuff to happen where then they would get the rights back to it automatically. So at this point, that'd be the only way Marvel could get it back for free if they don't come to agreement with how they were asking for 30%, which ironically enough is what I had said in one of the podcasts, what they should have shot for instead of 50, to at least try for 30, which I found it odd. And then I heard shortly after that podcast that new deal that they came up with, the offer like 30% for like the Spider-Man movies. Apparently it applies to like Venom and Carnage as well. But I found that interesting. Just out of all the percentages, the one that I had said they should have originally shot for is what they have actually brought to the table this time.
As long as they get something done.
Yes, because I don't know how it's gonna be with Spider-Man movies with them not being in the MCU now, because of how much they've based it around the MCU. What? The John Wick series. First off, I want to say, you did watch the third one finally, right?
Yeah.
Alright, good. I loved...
I got everybody hitting me up about the game. So that's why I'm a little distracted. Oh, so when are you coming through? When are you picking me up? But yeah. And my brother is coming over to the house, so that makes it a little easier on me. But yeah, he was like, nice. So what time you need me to be over there?
Yeah.
I don't know why all of my family talks the same when I imitate them.
It's like South Park. Everybody talks the same, eh? Don't call me back, guy. I'm not your guy, pal.
But yes, so I didn't buy John Wick 3. But I rented it from the old box that is red. And yeah, and I checked it out.
I own all three, but John Wick 3 I originally, I guess you could say, pre-order. Like, I bought it online where you get the digital copy of it first. So like, I watched the digital copy before I got the physical copy. And then the physical copy came like the day before it was released in stores.
Yeah.
Which, the day I got it, the physical copy, is when I sent you the message. Because then you were like, I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah, and I didn't.
Yeah, you went and rented it instead.
Well, I'm going to buy it, though, because I need to complete the trilogy. I have the first two, so I will buy it.
Which, obviously, it's going to be more than just 3.
Yeah. Yeah, with the way the third one ended.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so let's jump into it. Where's the thing at? Holy crap. Hour and 20 minutes into it.
Well, that was that's the stream alone, but
yeah,
we started the podcast a little bit after.
So, John Wick 1. I don't know like how to start this. I don't know how to go about it. Whatever. I think the first thing that I want to say about it is
Good evening, sir.
it's badass. And then early on, like one of the first thoughts that came to my mind watching John Wick was, you can get dogs delivered. There's like a Grubhub, but for dogs.
Oh yeah, when his wife bought him the dog.
Yeah. She sends him the freaking dog through like a carrier service. I didn't know you could get dogs delivered.
I think she bought for him before she died.
Yeah, she did. Because they
knew, they delivered it.
Yeah, they knew that you know, it was like terminal, whatever she had.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Which is originally why he tried to retire from being a assassin, I guess you'd say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why he got out. Also, the lady that delivers the dog is the first person to ever say John Wick's name. No one said. I mean, she comes into the movie like only a few minutes in or whatever, but I noticed that and I was like, that chick, because like it's said a lot, especially during the first movie. But you know, just John Wick, John Wick, John Wick. And the first person to ever say it was the dog deliverer. Little fun fact. Yeah, but you guys didn't know that, or didn't care to think about it because it's kind of stupid.
It's the little details.
But yeah, so the like fight choreography is awesome, and I might be wrong about this, but I feel like I read this like a while ago or whatever. Maybe, like the fight scenes and stuff. Like the what did I say? Inside a warlord. Yeah. That person's talking about the dog deliverer. So yeah, so like I feel like I read that like the fights, like Keanu Reeves does his own stunts. And that's why we get like these really long, not broken up fight scenes, because it's kind of like it's like one take. God bless America. It's like one take. Get away from the mic there.
Yeah. Don't worry. But a lot, I mean, that just added to his the stuff he learned from the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
oh, that's that guy or girl, probably a guy. But yeah, so like does his own stunts and stuff. So like the fight scenes, like that's why we get these long cuts or whatever. Like we don't, or like long takes, because it's all just like one thing. It's choreographed and they just go in, and you don't see like the camera's not kind of switching angles too often, and it's just one solid take. And I love that. It just feels better watching it. It feels more real.
Yeah.
Man, you're a strict streamer.
I'm not strict, just needing to delete that chat. It's not exactly appropriate when you're talking about stuff. That second message said, but
yeah, and then so when the oh my gosh, when Yosef and his little henchmen come in and they're doing their thing and they kill Daisy. It's the saddest scene in movie history, by the way.
Oh, the Russian guy's son?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they kill Daisy. I mean, it was worse than than the family having to shoot old Yeller.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Or when
that scene was devastating.
or like in
Dude said, "Shut that fucking dog up," and the guy just chases it down, grabs her, and snaps her neck. Like, how do you do that? How do you do that to a dog?
or like Will Smith had to do in I Am Legend when his dog turned when it was bitten or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever saw that movie,
Yeah. Oh man,
Yeah.
I freaking love that movie.
like
my,
that was
my
that
little
was,
like Avi on my 360 thing has been I Am Legend for several years. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that movie.
yeah, that was rough when he had to do it in that movie to his own dog.
Yeah, but this is like Daisy is. I mean, this is the last thing that his wife like did for him. That his wife gave him,
Yeah,
and the dog only lives with him for like 3 days. and he mentions that in the movie, like that's, you know, so he wouldn't have to grieve alone.
yeah,
And then Yosef took that from him. That scene is awesome too. Later in the movie when he's in like that church or whatever.
oh yeah.
And
What it was a famous line that he said that they were wondering like why he was so pissed off. It's like
it's just a fucking dog.
yeah, it's like no.
Yeah.
You took that from me. You killed that from me. It's
Yep.
like, or whatever. I forgot exactly how he said it. Like, but he was just getting more and more aggressive as he said it. Went along with that statement.
And then he tells oh my goodness, I can't remember his name.
Also,
The main guy, the main boss guy. I can remember Yosef, but I can't remember the freaking dad. Jeez Louise.
yeah.
But he tells him, he's like, you can either tell me where your son is at and then get out of my way,
Yeah.
or you can die screaming alongside him.
Yeah.
And like he screams it at the guy, and then I think they like hit him in the face or something. but yeah, like that scene's badass.
And
then Willem Dafoe
oh
snipes the guy as they're trying to kill him, trying to kill John Wick.
yeah. Which the first one, it's the first time you hear him referred to as Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
The boogeyman. And what was it? The
Baba Yaga.
yeah, because I think the second one had, I guess he was some sort of relation to the guy from the first one.
Brother.
Yeah, it was like his brother,
Mm-hmm.
and it was his nephew was the guy's son.
Yeah, Yosef is the dude's nephew. Man, I cannot remember his freaking name.
And
But
yeah,
yeah. So then that so the whole scene where
there it is. The first
what
one.
is it?
Oh,
I'm trying to remember the order of events.
the main guy that he fought at the end. That
Yeah,
was
the little Russian mobster guy.
Yosef's father, Vigo.
Vigo, yes.
Yeah.
I kept wanting to say Victor, but I knew that wasn't right.
Because William Dafoe played Marcus.
Yeah. Yeah, he gets Yo.
Yo!
Talk about going out like a G. Man. Marcus's death is amazing.
He did not hold. Like, he didn't give nothing.
Spoilers. There's your warning.
If you haven't seen the
If you
first,
haven't seen, it's 2014. Watch it already. One of the greatest action movies of like modern whatever. I know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so he said Vigo, right? Vigo? Yeah. So
Yeah.
Vigo tells him that basically that he's gonna kill him. Like slowly. Gonna kill him. Because he didn't help protect Yosef. And then so Marcus or Willem Dafoe
Yeah.
is basically like, no, I'm gonna go out on my terms, and then he like hits
No
the
one
guy or
else.
whatever, and he like stands up and he starts kind of like fighting, and then I think Vigo just like pops him in the chest like a few times, and like the whole time Marcus is like laughing and he's still kind of like talking shit, and Vigo walks up to him and just like double taps him or something, but well, no, he actually like empties a clip in him or something. He stands over top of him and just unloads.
Oh yeah, that's when he was on the stairs, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's after he
had been
got
shot and he had
brutally, like he was brutally beaten.
Yeah.
I think stabbed. I think along with being shot, and
Yeah,
he
was
still
shot, like, a
crawled
few
the steps
times.
to try to get up before the dude just unleashed the rest of his gun on him.
Yeah, he like walks up to him. I can't remember what Marcus says to him before he dies, but Vigo shoots him, and then Vigo's like wiping his gun off, and he goes like, "Well played, Marcus," or something like that. But like even he respected the way the dude went out. Like it was awesome.
And that's why he was like, "I'm gonna go out on my own terms."
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was a total like G move, man. That's I mean, it's one of the coolest deaths in like an action movie that I can remember, like right off. But yeah.
Oh yeah. And
The
but when they invaded his home, that was great too. Like after he killed them all.
yeah,
And,
that's what I was gonna
the cop
bring that
came to
up.
the door, rang the doorbell or whatever, knocked on the door, just
Working again. Sorry, I ruined it for you. Sorry.
he's
I'm
like,
so excited.
he's like, everything okay, John? It's like, noise complaint. It's like, you working again, John?
Yeah. He leans over and sees the body in the hallway. You working again? And then what does he say? I don't remember what John Wick says back to him.
Yeah.
But yeah. And he's like, all right.
Yeah, and then leaves.
And then like right when he leaves, the like cleanup crew comes in.
Oh yeah, which that's great. Just give him a coin and they dispose of everything, and it's great.
So I know we're only talking about the first one, but throughout the first three, one of my favorite things about it, and it's something I haven't heard a lot about, is the character arc for the concierge.
Yeah.
Like he's just, I mean, you can tell that like, I feel like you can tell in the first movie like there's more to him than just like a concierge. Like he's got like those abilities as well, like those like assassin things or whatever.
Yeah.
And then as it goes on through the series, and then especially in the third one, like you see it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, that's just a bit like his character from his character from the first time watching it was one that always intrigued me. I just thought he was cool.
Yeah.
Just kind of laid back and like everything going on around him, whatever. Like he was just, he was just chill.
It's welcome to the Continental.
And he just seemed
Mr.
like
Wick.
I don't know who the actor is, but I mean, like he did a really good job. Like the concierge just seems like so powerful, like you're just strong. But he doesn't really show you anything like in the first one. But he just kind of gives off that presence.
Oh yeah, like
so
I
whoever
knew
played him, I mean, just nailed it. Just such a good job.
I knew from the first one that it was more to him than just working the front desk at a hotel.
Yeah.
Because just that vibe that he put off. And,
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like you can tell that there's more to him because the character is played so well. But it's not, kind of like reading up on stuff or whatever. It's not something that I've seen is like people talk about. I don't know, just how well he plays it.
I love Aurelio too. Aurelio, I think is his name.
Yeah, John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just how the stuff that he'll say, the comments he'll have about it, about like fixing his car and stuff.
I like when
Lance Reddick is the guy who plays the hotel manager slash Sharon.
Lance Reddick.
Yeah.
All right, Lance Reddick. If you come across this podcast, I just want you to know that I love what you did with
And
that
then
character.
Ian McShane that
It
played
does not get talked about enough.
yeah, and then Ian McShane that played Winston.
Yeah, I know Ian McShane.
Yeah, I loved him playing Winston.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like a perfect fit for it.
Another cool part of the movie that I wanted to bring up is Perkins, the female assassin,
Yeah.
and when she violates the rules,
Yeah, she broke the cardinal rule.
Yeah.
The cardinal rule.
So then they kind of like call her over into that little area or whatever towards the end of the movie, and she walks, and then like 4 people just come out and surround her, and then Winston walks up and tells her that her
you've been excommunicado.
yeah, and tells her that she's been like her
revoked. Your privileges at the Continental have been revoked,
like, permanently revoked, like by your own hand or something like that. And then he turns around and walks away, and the camera, they show like a different camera, it's like panned out, and then all 4 of the dudes surrounding her just shoot her in the head.
All at the same time, too.
Yep. Like, it was nuts. It was so merciless.
Because, it was the first one where I think he was a police officer that was friends with John that she killed in the Continental, like in his hotel room or whatever. Or he, or in
like
her
Harry,
hotel
or Henry or something like that. Yeah, he, John gives him a coin to just watch her, just kind of babysit, and he's like, catch and release. And then like then it goes away, and then they show like in the room, and then she throws like the pillow over his head and just shoots him.
Yeah, she basically used that as a silencer.
Yeah,
and
then that's what gets her murked in such a great way.
The way they tried like torturing John in the first one. When is the first one? Where he was like in the church or whatever? Or was that the second one?
Yeah, the one we talked about earlier?
Yeah, where like they had him surrounded and they had him tortured, they put the bag over his head.
Yeah, that's the first one. That's when that's when Marcus shoots him with a sniper rifle. Shoots one of the guys.
And that was a part where these people keep asking if I'm back. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. I love Keanu Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Keanu, you're amazing. You're amazing.
I had well, let me see. Oh yeah. Another so after the whole church thing, when Marcus helps him escape, and then Vigo is getting away, and I don't remember if they know that he's chasing them or not, or if he just kind of pops up. No, yeah, they know, because I think he comes out of the church, and so, anyway, so but John Wick like is able to like get to him, like he jumps on top of the hood of like the SUV, and he just like shotguns the driver. And then Vigo gets out or whatever, and Vigo's like, cool it. And that cracked me up. Like, whatever it was about that scene, but he just comes out, cool it.
Whoa. Yeah.
Okay. And then he gives away the location of his son, like a little biatch.
Well, that was unless I'm thinking of another movie. I didn't think he gave away his exact location.
No, he told him he was in a safe house in Brooklyn.
He told him like where, but not exactly.
Yeah.
Where to find him and how to get to him. It's like basically he left it up to him to do the rest. It's like he just gave him a little bit of help.
Yeah. That was another little scene that I thought was really cool when Yosef is in there and his little wingman is playing video games. And I mean, you can just tell Yosef is just nervous. Like he's so stressed out. And
It was off.
yeah, and then he just like yells at the guy like, "Stop playing that fucking video game!" And the dude kind of turns around, takes his headset off for a second, and then he just kind of shrugs it off and leans forward to play the game. And like right when he leans forward, bullet right through his temple.
But he kept,
And it was, and like they slow mode it, like everything's normal speed. Then he crouches down, and then right when the bullet like goes into his head, it like slow modes, and he just goes. That was awesome.
But I mean, Yosef was trying to make out to be like he was this big bad Russian mafia guy.
Yeah, he just had protection from his daddy.
But yet he was the biggest little, you know what, when it came to John hunting him, and he knew that he was after him and that he was getting close to him.
Well, I think at first because again, like he's got daddy's protection or whatever,
and just how differently he changed from the beginning to when he killed his dog and thought he killed him at the later on.
Yeah, like he had that like that what turned out to be like a false sense of security, because he's thinking like as powerful as his dad is, and all the money and all the connections and just all the manpower that they have. Like, there's no way that this one guy is gonna be able to get to me. So then, as it goes on, and John Wick is just murking everybody that gets in his way, then yeah, you see Yosef become like more and more stressed out. Like when he's in the Red Circle, that little club or whatever, and he that's when he talks like a little bit more shit, and when they're in like the jacuzzi. But then I think that's the point. When John Wick went through all that, I think that's the point where Yosef started getting really stressed out.
Yeah, and he started freaking out. Like he was not hesitant to throw his own guys in front of him to get shot to help protect himself.
Yeah, he didn't care.
While he gave him time to run.
I mean, that's the way that all of them are, though. Like, protect yourself, because I mean, his freaking dad gave him up. The whole thing is just protect yourself.
Kind of like a professional courtesy kind of thing, which I think is actually how they worded it. Just giving you a professional, like, especially in
that's what John Wick says.
One.
Yeah, when he can kill you, but he opts not to. He just says consider it a professional courtesy.
Yeah. And then the guy, like in the second one, how the guy he says that to him.
Yeah, he puts the blade in like his aorta or whatever.
Oh no! I'm talking about like later on, like when they're, I think, both in the Continental.
Oh yeah.
I think when he bought him a drink or whatever, they considered this a professional courtesy, or something like that.
Yeah.
Because
doesn't he? Common says that to John Wick when they're in the Continental.
Yeah.
And then when they fight, because it's after when they fight in the train.
Mm-hmm.
And then John Wick says it back to him.
Yeah.
Because he tells him if you like the blade's like in your aorta or whatever, and if he removes it, then he'll bleed out.
Yeah.
And then he just goes, consider it a professional courtesy. And he walks off the train.
And yeah, and what he does to that Mustang though. He pushed that car through the ringer.
And that's the beginning of the second one.
Yeah. I mean, it got pretty messed up in the first one too, if I remember correctly.
No, the first one you don't see it. After it gets stolen, you don't see it again to the beginning of the second one.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause that's the whole reason he infiltrated that place, was to get his car back. But he drives around. He gets Aurelio.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like he gives him a Camaro or something, I think.
Yeah,
or
like an SS.
Yeah. Or Chevelle.
It's like a super sport,
I think it was a Chevelle.
I think it's Chevelle Super Sport.
Yeah,
I know it was an SS.
And yeah, so that's what he drives. For most, I think, of like the first movie.
Yeah.
And then at the end, when they're at that shipyard, he's driving in the Charger. And the one dude's behind a concrete barrier, and he drifts around, puts a gun out the window, and shoots him. And then so the Allstate Mayhem actor,
yeah,
his death, man, that's good stuff. Like, John hits him with the car, well, like slides into him, and the dude kind of like goes like into the window, like the passenger side window, and then he says something. I think I don't remember, but then he kind of like slides down the door and is laying on the ground, and then John Wick looks over to his left, and Vigo is coming at him with an SUV, and so then the camera like it's like backed out to show the impact, and you can see Allstate Mayhem guy laying on the ground, and when the truck hits the Dodge Charger, it pushes Mayhem guy. Like you see him on the ground the whole time, just getting shoved. Man, I laughed so hard. Like I rewinded it and watched it like 4 times. And I was watching it with I watched it with Mike, and I kept saying, I was like, dude, watch him beside the car. Bam! Oh god, check it out. But yeah, that kind of cracked me up.
So, you had Allstate, you could protect yourself from mayhem like me.
Yep. And there's only so much protecting he could do. Or John Wick killed him.
Yeah. But then how at the end of the first one, the way Vigo and him kind of like fought each other.
Mm-hmm. The tactic that John Wick used at the end to get the upper hand is rather impressive.
Oh, yeah.
He pulls Vigo in to allow him to stab him so he can break his arm.
And then kill him.
And then so then he can get the knife. Then he pulls the knife out and uses the knife to stab Vigo with. But like just I don't know, just him thinking like the only shot I have is to like let him drive this blade into my stomach. And then
you've got a weapon to use against him.
yeah, so that's what he says. He brings it in, snaps his arm, and obviously he like lets go of the blade at that point. So then John pulls the blade out and like stabs him like right in his neck or something.
Yeah. It wasn't a quick death. I know that. No, they sat there and talked in the rain. Yeah,
dude's got like a blade sticking out of his neck,
and he's just sitting there like. And then John just laying there across from him, and they're just talking. But yeah. Then he ended up getting up, and I think leaving.
Yeah, he gets in one of the SUVs, and then he's kind of just like coasting
before
he just like wrecks, hits a little like concrete wall thing or whatever. And then he crawls out of the vehicle and then plays the video of, I think Helen is his wife's name.
I believe so.
But yeah, he plays that video.
The video that he had on his phone over. Yeah.
So like, and that's where the movie starts. Is him coming out of that car.
Yeah.
And then watch the video. Yeah. And then it goes back Quentin Tarantino style. And to show everything leading up to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
But then, some people must not understood like about the third one, because it's primarily action, which is what it's supposed to be, because of the situation at hand. Then some people didn't like it because that's pretty much all it was. I'm just like, that's what it's supposed to be. Like if you've kept up to the story leading up to there, I mean,
a cool thing about the third one, and we'll discuss this in a future podcast, is so the first two, well, especially the first one, it was a lot of gun combat,
gun fu.
Yeah, and then
that's actually what they call it. Yeah,
and then the second one, there was some blade fighting going on, but then the third one,
it's all out.
I mean, it's such a nice mix of like gun violence and hand-to-hand combat and like blades, swords, because they have like that whole like ninja crew.
Yeah, it just made me think of that scene in the third one when they're in that hallway and they're just like, they smash the glass, just start like grabbing the knives and throwing it.
Yeah. Right at the very end, he grabs the axe and just like slings it all the way down, hits the dude in the side of the head. Man, yeah, that scene.
That
The
made me
one guy,
laugh.
like the one dude, is on the ground and he throws like 9 blades into him or something crazy. He just keeps slinging them. One like hits him in the crotch and he just keeps throwing them into his torso. And it's like, all right, and then he's not going anywhere. That dude is dead. The third one was definitely the most graphic. He slowly drives the blade into the eye of that guy. Like, yeah, the third one is definitely the most graphic. But yeah, I love the way they mixed it up. But to not get too far ahead of ourselves, yeah, it's like I think there's like clear progression through it, and like you got to know, watching John Wick, like that's what you're getting into. Mm-hmm. It's not anything creative story wise, like it's just this really awesome action movie.
But like,
and there isn't anything, like nothing is unbelievable or over the top. Like nobody's jumping off a skyscraper or jumping off a crane grabbing a skyscraper. Dwayne Johnson.
But
I mean, it's nothing crazy, nothing Fast and Furious. Like, it's all like realistic action.
Well, one thing they have said is like each John Wick is like they try to think of a way. All right, we did this one last time. What is a way we can do? Like we can top it in this one. Like something we can do. Like with the third one, adding like the horse and the motorcycles and stuff. It's like, was there a way of that fight scene on that with trying to one up the second one with action? It's kind of like the Fast and the Furious method. It's like, all right, we did it this big in the last one. How can we go bigger? Like, how can we go bigger and better on the next one, or on this one technically?
Yeah, and then that's what, like when I said earlier, like there's like clear progression, like through it. I mean, with like everything.
Oh yeah.
Like the fighting is better. It becomes more varied and more like mixed, and which then just makes it more interesting because you're not watching 3 movies where it's an hour and a half to 2 hours of just like headshots. Like they switch it up. So they keep it. They kind of keep it fresh.
And it's like they said with like John Wick as a character, it's like everything he does is like he plans out as like right before he does it. Like every movement has a reason of what he's doing. Like he's got something in mind for everything he does. Especially like hell with That's cover and stuff and gunfights, and just like his movements are all planned out like as he's doing it. It's like he has a reason for what he does.
That's like Robert Downey Jr.'s Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Pretty much.
He sees the fight before it happens, and it plays out exactly how he sees it.
I mean, it's basically like that, but better.
Yeah, yeah.
And just like training videos I've seen of Keanu Reeves for John Wick, and even like Halle Berry for the third one. It's like it is just awesome watching those gun range videos and stuff. Especially watching him just how he has got it down, and you can like if you watch that, and then especially the third one, it's like you can see that training in the movie. Obviously, you're going from like live bullets to not, but just that whole technique you can definitely see, especially in the third one, like exactly.
Yeah, and him, which you touched on this earlier, but Keanu Reeves he trained for like a handful of months doing The Matrix to learn martial arts, and then so all that stuff helped and carried over.
And he just learned more on top of that for John Wick. And then like they call it gun fu, where it's like you're combining martial arts with like gun action to be able to like where you can defend yourself and give yourself the opportunity to get those couple seconds you need to pop a magazine in, cock it, and then pull the trigger and finish them off. It's like that's why they call it like gun fu, because you're using that in your fighting to give you that opportunity to get that couple seconds to reload, so then you can just shoot them. It's like that's why it's like that's so much different than like most movies. Which I love, because like he'd be fighting, then he'd kick him back, reload, and pop, pop, pop.
Yeah. Like the guns get like more brutal as it goes on through the trilogy or through the first three movies. It's gonna be more than a trilogy, but like I'm trying to remember. I mean, it's a lot of like single shot type stuff, like semi-automatic
Handguns.
yeah, pistols, shotguns, or whatever. And then you get into like I think the automatic weaponry is used more as the series goes on. But I mean everything like I feel like the whole thing is so well done because again for the third time it's just progression and everything. I mean you can look at anything and like nothing like declines or whatever like.
Oh yeah.
It all gets better. And then in the third one you had Halle Berry. Progression.
And she is like the female version of John Wick, so
Yeah. Man, she looks good too.
she's got the two German shepherds too in the
Yes.
third one.
Yes.
That's why I can't wait to talk about the third
Yeah,
one.
the whole
man.
time I'm watching that movie, me and Mike were both like, we should get some German shepherds. Teach them how to attack in German. Scheiße. Nein. Führer. All right.
I was like, I don't know German. So I would learn German commands though.
I think nine is no, and yep, that's all I know. Führer is like leader. That's what they called Hitler.
Yeah, no.
But
yeah,
yeah, my Führer, something like that. I don't know exactly what it means. I'm assuming it just means like leader or something. But that's what they always called Hitler. So that's all I know. I know no and leader. Or whatever.
or whatever.
I think shit is like Scheiße.
Yeah,
I know the important ones.
I think it is.
I know no and shit.
Scheiße.
Nein, Scheiße. Führer.
And
Need to watch more Indiana Jones.
let's also not forget that John Wick can kill you with a pencil.
Yeah.
With a single pencil. Horrible imitation of the guy from the third one, but the second one. Yeah. He killed him with a fucking pencil.
He's like, did you hear? He killed 3 people with a pencil. And the guy's, well, he starts to say it, and the guy's like, yeah, killed 3 people with a pencil in a bar. Yeah, I've heard.
Which I think it ends up like it shows it, or it shows him do exactly that. Kind of like the whole Joker method from Dark Knight. Way he's like, I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. It's like, you want to see a magic trick? I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. Magic on.
That's a plot hole in that movie, by the way.
What?
The pencil trick in The Dark Knight.
Why?
How the hell does he know the dude's gonna get up? Like, what if he had stuck the pencil in there? He goes, "You want to see a magic trick? I'm gonna make this pencil disappear." And like, what if nobody stood up?
Well, I mean,
then Joker would be like, "Never mind.
It's gone."
Told you. Ha! Burn the money.
I'm only burning my hand. Don't worry.
But yeah, so he stabs it in, and then the guy stands up, comes over, and just immediately right in his freaking eye. The pencil definitely disappeared, by the way. When homeboy fell off the table, the pencil was gone. But yeah. All right. So, if you have not seen John Wick, go watch John Wick.
Definitely.
And even
first.
though, yeah. I mean, you have to like.
Yeah.
There's stuff you'll miss out on because it's a continuation.
To fully understand the story and progression.
Yeah. Like, you can't go into like the third movie like, why the hell do all of these assassins want to kill John Wick? Well, watch the first 2 and you'll find out.
Yeah. Or what he did for what happened, for what is happening in the third one, which you find out at the end of the second one. So
But yeah, so if you guys haven't seen it, check it out. And like again, it's not you gotta kind of, it's like the little nuances. I don't know if I'm using that word right, but so the story is not, it's like a classic revenge type deal or whatever, and so the story is not like super creative or original or anything like that, but there are like little things, and we highlighted a few of them while talking about it, that show like really solid like filmmaking, just kind of going through the series, like character arcs and the development of characters and whatever, and just I don't really want to keep using the word, but progression and like every facet, and then of course the Keanu Reeves doing his own stunts, which delivers like really solid scenes, like fight scenes.
He's like another Tom Cruise likes to do as much of his own stunts as possible.
Yeah.
And Tony Jaa. But yeah.
But it's just like, so for like story and for like script, like dialogue and stuff, like it's not, it's not anything that's gonna wow you there. But there are like little things that if you pay attention to, like it just makes it a really good movie. Obviously, the thing that stands out is the action, because it is an action movie.
It is an action-packed movie about the world of hitmen and the organization.
Yeah, they got this whole like web, this like underground web. It's just crazy. And they're all over the world.
And then I think it was not till the second one it introduces Lawrence Fishburne. And
yeah, that was a cool moment in the second one. I got all kinds, especially with like when I rewatched them recently, getting ready to do this. News had broke about Matrix 4.
Oh yeah,
being made. So then, like when I'm watching the second John Wick again, and he interacts with Lawrence Fishburne's character, who I don't remember what his name is. I know he refers to himself as a king a lot, but I don't remember his character name. But I don't know. I kind of got chills. Like I was all excited about Matrix 4, and there's Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne. Like, yeah,
Bowery King. Bowery King.
Yeah, Bowery King. Yep. But yeah. So I have got to run. The next one we're going to talk about John Wick 2, which is my least favorite of the trilogy, but it's important for the evolution of the story. Yeah. But yeah. So we're going to talk about that. I've got to go. I've got to get to this football game. I got 3 people riding with me. We got box seats, free food, free drinks. I won tickets on a little Facebook thing,
Liberty game,
and so yeah, gonna watch. I've never sat in the box. I've been to a ton. I mean, I'm a huge football fan. Been to a ton of college games. I've only been to one. Yeah, I've been to one professional game. I've been to a lot of college games, but in none of them have I sat in the box
in luxury.
Yeah, which like I'm okay with, because I like being with the crowd, and it's really like it's just live and it's just hype, and yeah. So being in a box is gonna be a different experience, but everything's free. Again, I want it, so yeah, everything's free.
Food and drink included.
The tickets are originally like $80 for box seats, and yeah. But that's good to know in the future. You pay $80 for box seats, and then you get free food and drinks the whole time. It almost makes it seem worth it. The only thing I don't think I'm going to like about it is just being away from the crowd. I want to be in there with them. But also, they're playing like a Division II team, or FCS, so it's probably not going to be that crazy anyway. It's a game they're expected to win easily.
You're going to be like above the crowd and everything.
Like I'll be next to like the press boxes and the coaches boxes and all that. Like I'll be up there in the climate controlled rooms. Apparently each little box has like a porch type deal, so you can step outside. You don't have to be in the glass enclosure. You can step outside on the boat. So I'll probably be doing that for most of it.
Nice.
But yeah, so I got to get running for that. I was excited coming into this to talk about John Wick, and then while talking about it, I could just feel the excitement. So the next 2 episodes that we do on it are going to be a lot of fun. This one was a lot of fun.
But the next one will be the second John Wick, and the third one will be
John Wick Chapter 2.
And then the third one, the next episode after that, will be about John Wick 3 Parabellum.
Mm-hmm. So, alright. Well, I'm going to bounce. I'm going to let John do his sign-off thing, but I'm going to have to run out.
You can give your plug in.
Yeah, so
we're about to end it. We're ending the episode anyway, and I'll stop the recording.
Alright, so follow me on Twitter. Infamous Wannabe. The letter N, the word famous, the word one, and UHB. Infamous Wannabe. Trust me, when you piece it together, it all makes sense. My name is a puzzle. But it's the same thing on Instagram. Twitter and Instagram is all the same. I don't get on Instagram too much. I do tweet a lot about sports.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you can find me there. You can also find me periodically on John's stream. Like currently.
Yeah. And when we do the
also
podcast.
when we do like when we do the podcast like now, and then we also will play video games. Need to get Joe back over here.
Yes, we
do. For a team stream.
Oh yeah. I've been trying to do that. And also
I know this weekend he was fully booked. They had a gig last night and a gig tonight.
Yeah. And then we usually like to, when we stream the podcast and record it live, we like to transition after we stop recording for the podcast episode. We like to transition over to playing video games, but unfortunately this weekend we don't have the time to do so. But hopefully you're available next weekend.
I would try to make it happen.
Or at least Sunday.
A scary realization that I came to is the possibility that this may have to be like an every other weekend thing. Which is so when I don't have the girls. On the Saturdays I don't have the girls. I'm trying to work around it. But yeah. Because also I think doing it every week, you know, we can do the podcast, and then we can do some video games or whatever. And then some weeks like today, we can only do the podcast. So, you know, we kind of switch it up.
Yeah.
And then I don't really want to lose that. So I'm trying to figure it out. But that's like worst case scenario. This may have to be like an every other week podcast recording.
And I will put the links to our pages on the description of the videos when I post it on YouTube and on Twitch. You can follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook now. I created a Facebook page, all at MusicianGamer76. And on YouTube as well, it has, I don't have an actual URL for my YouTube, but you can find it here in the panels on Twitch, and you can also just go on YouTube and search MusicianGamer76. But if you come across stuff, well, I also share it, and he shares it on Facebook and Twitter and everything after the fact of when it's uploaded. And it has all of our descriptions in it. And if you enjoy the video and you're watching it on YouTube, feel free to hit the subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you'll know the next time we upload a podcast episode. And if you're watching it on Twitch, make sure you hit the follow button and enable notifications so you'll know the next time we go live for the podcast. Or if you want to come hang out in my personal streams, feel free to. I'm a part-time variety streamer. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then obviously on the weekends when we do the podcast as well. And during the week, it starts at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On the weekends, we let you all know ahead of time before we go live for the podcast, because the times usually vary. Because, as Nathan said, it's kind of varies on times of when he's available.
Kids, man. Freaking kids.
But till then, you could also probably also talk with Fran when it comes to, I guess, babysitting. Sometimes if she's up for it, but just a thought. But
I always get like weird, and it's nothing against like anybody. It's just I feel like you're like giving a burden like to somebody else. That makes me sound like a terrible dad. My kids are such a burden. But not like I just like I don't know. Since they were born, I've just been really weird about that. Like I don't have an issue asking my mom to watch them, but I got Joe and Amber to watch them last weekend just for like an hour and a half, so we could do the picture thing, and I felt miserable about it. I don't know. I have some kind of block there. Like so yeah, that's why I'm always like hesitant about stuff like that. So my go-to is like my mom and then possibly my dad.
Yeah.
And
but I mean, with that aspect of things though, I mean, if you asked her, it'd be at least in our house. So they would be in the same house as you are in.
I'm not going to ask her. I'm going to tell her. I'm just going to bring the kids over with me one day. You're watching them. Teach them how to bake a cake.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully...
John's wife is a baker. That's why I made that joke.
But hopefully, we will be able to do the podcast again next weekend, providing Nathan is able to find a babysitter for us to be able to do the podcast. But till then, hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff, and share it if you enjoyed it, and come hang out with us live when we live stream it, so you can get involved in the chat live during the episode. But till then, we will see you guys next time. Thank you all.
Go Cowboys.
Go Bucks. Bye, everybody.